With the meteoric rise of Randomizer popularity,
Boy finds cure to his leukemia in his Zelda Randomizer.
And the current state of the economy,
Price of eggs too high. Leukemia boy dies of hunger.
I wanted to play a Pikmin Randomizer, but I can't afford a PC to play it. So, why not make one ourselves?
Remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy.
In a regular Pikmin Randomizer, the only thing that gets randomized is the ship parts and the enemy spawns. So our first day will look pretty similar to any other randomizer. We will introduce ourselves to Wilson and use him to get our ship's engine. The only difference is we had no enemies to deal with, and the ship part may have been any of the 30 scattered across the planet. But don't fret, because things will change on day 2. I have something a little less fun in mind to differentiate my budget randomizer. It's day 2 and we only have one Pikmin to work with. So while Wilson breaks down this wall, I'll explain how this great value randomizer is going to work. Basically, before each day, we will roll 2 wheels. The first being the mystical wheel of Pikmin, to see what Pikmin type we will be permitted to toil the lands with. So far the wheel looks pretty monochromatic and sad, but we'll add more Pikmin as soon as they're available to us. Our second and less depressing wheel is the fantastical wheel of numbers, which we'll spin to determine the maximum number of Pikmin allowed on the planet. For this wheel we have a healthy mix of chaos to choose from. It starts with 1 Pikmin, to 5, to 10, then we go up by 10s, and after all that, we reach the coveted number 100. The goal of this run will be to collect all the ship parts while abiding by the wheel's governance. And that's the long story of why we had only 1 Pikmin today. Speaking of Wilson, let's check on him to see his progress. Oh Wilson, you barely touched your wall! I'm so disappointed. You know what that means? No bulbor berry pie for dessert until you're done. Now don't worry Wilson, we're surrounded by walls on all sides, so no one can get you. Just keep working and we'll check back on you tomorrow. Hey, Wilson, what did I say about no dessert?
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
With 50 Pikmin, we can do plenty. We can break down the walls, we can bum rush the red bulborbs, and we can collect the eternal fuel dynamo. But most importantly, we can finally add yellow Pikmin to the mystical wheel. Although we can't just introduce ourselves to Abdul Al-Asfar just yet, because it's only 1 Pikmin type per day.
And I see you tomorrow! What that you butch?
That's honestly kind of disappointing. We did everything we could do with our reds yesterday. Well, except for getting the shock absorber. I got that in the beginning of the day. But we really needed the yellow demolition force to tear down all these concrete walls blocking our way. See what I mean? We're able to carry the Nova Blaster and the whimsical radar within feet of the ship, but this wall is still blocking our way.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Let me do this. Yes! 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 No! No! No!
Now let's not over-exaggerate here. That may sound like very few Pikmin, but we're talking in Abduls here. 1 Wilson can't even break down 1 measly wall. But 5 Abduls! Now that's enough to demolish the walls of Jericho, not just the Forest of Hope. He's like the cousin your mom compares you to.
All you do is sit around and play that little Pikmin game. Why can't you be more like your cousin? He's a doctor, you know.
It doesn't matter what Pikmin type we get today, all we need is the numbers to actually carry back these parts.
That'll do.
With 90 red Pikmin, we were able to clean out most of the Forest of Hope. We got 4 parts in total, those being the 2 aforementioned parts we left behind on day 4, as well as the extraordinary bolt and the Geiger counter. That's enough parts to finally take our ship to the Forest Naval.
A great success!
But in retrospect, maybe 90 Pikmin was a little too much for me to handle. It's been a while, I'm a little rusty. With the Forest Naval unlocked, we can finally add Skipper to complete our primary color wheel of Pikmin. Well, kind of. I couldn't change the background, so we're stuck with these greens and yellows. But that's okay, let's just spin the wheels. Oh look, and it didn't even matter. In fact, nothing matters. Nothing literally matters today. Well, Wilson, you already let us down with that wall. Let's see how you do with this bridge. And while we're waiting, let's just roll for the next day to kill some time. You are lucky, Wilson. I don't know what I could have done with only 5 of you, when this is all you could accomplish in one day. Luckily, you and 59 of your friends have a date with me tomorrow, so get your rest. The Forest Naval is another case of where's the Kool-Aid man when you need him.
Oh yeah!
There are walls everywhere, making progress almost impossible until we get yellows. Fortunately enough, a little bread bug came all the way to our ship to deliver us the space float. What a lifesaver, am I right? With the remainder of the day, we took out our frustration on the neighboring wildlife, killing the toadstool, but not collecting the Omega Stabilizer, because we had a little mishap with the native Wollywogs.
Thank you! Just what I needed!
We have to make a few more yellows to reach 50, but that's okay, we don't need 50 Pikmin, that's just the upper limit. We can tear down most of these walls with less. That's just how great Abduls are. They even collected the atomic gear as a little flex on the Reds. Finally, we can welcome Skipper to the team with open arms. It's nice to get a little more diversity in here. At first glance, it may seem like we're not accomplishing much. But that, my friend, is looking at the glass half full. These little lifeguards are rescuing most of the ship parts from the deep end of the pool. Well, besides the stubborn anti-dioxin filter, because it's a little too heavy.
Get out of the water! Pool's closed!
But now we don't have to be as dependent on the Pikmin wheel. Any Pikmin type can collect these parts now that they're on dry land. Besides, we collected the number 1 Ionium Jet as our daily contribution to the cause. So, we good. Oh my god, Wilson, why is it always you? You can't break walls, you can't build bridges. What can you do?
I can fight, Coach!
In this corner, towering over the competition, undefeated in 128 fights. They say he will taste you through his feet. The current heavyweight champion, Speedy Ron Longlegs! And in this corner, standing at 33 millimeters high, the underdog, straight from the Bronx, Little Wilson!
Round 1, fight!
Oh, and Wilson just pounces on Ron like a wildebeest. He gives him a flurry of punches. It's a left, it's a right, it's a left, it's an uppercut! Speedy Ron Longlegs is down! 1, 2, 3, he's out! Little Wilson is our new champion!
Okay, now we just need numbers. I don't care what Pikmin type, but I would prefer anything other than reds. Oh, well, okay. Can I at least get the numbers? Oh, phew. That was close. Jeez, I'm running out of days here. Please don't scare me like that. Well, reds aren't so bad. We can easily collect the 4 ship parts we left behind through the fire hazards. Those being the analog computer, the Omega stabilizer, the guard satellite, and finally the gravity jumper. And that's enough ship parts to make our way to the distant spring. The next 3 days we had pretty similar results, so let's speed right through them. On day 13 we rolled 70 yellows, a great big number, so we spent our time breaking walls, killing spotty bull bears, and collecting the UV lamp, the only treasure that requires yellows in the distant spring. On day 14 we rolled 40 yellows, so we continued breaking down some concrete walls, and used this glitch to launch on top of the higher ledge, so we can easily bring down the Kronos reactor without having to change our Pikmin color, because it's only 1 Pikmin type per day, remember? On day 15 we rolled 30 yellows, and I really couldn't find much more to do other than break down some more walls, so we grinded Pikmin for the majority of the day. What we really need is the Blue Man group, not to only finish off the distant spring, but to finish off every other area in the world.
Please, sir. I want some more.
With only 10 skippers, my best option was to go back to the Forest of Hope so we could build a bridge to Sagittarius. Wow, that's actually kind of poetic. They should put that like on an album cover or a shirt. I don't know what it means, but it sounds artsy. Well, anyways, we also broke down this wall submerged in water to fight the armored cannon beetle maybe another day. Did I say another day? I meant today. Today we will fight the armored cannon beetle. On second thought, we will just collect Sagittarius and be on our way. We had to get to it before the shear grubs destroyed our bridge anyways. Besides, the radiation canopy is too heavy for us to carry with only 20 Pikmin. Finally, not only the blues we need, but the blues we deserve. Time to do what blues do best.
Get out of the water! The pool's closed! There are AIDS and stingrays in that water! The stingrays also have AIDS! Get out!
20 blues is not enough to pick up any treasures in the distant spring, but it is just enough to get the positron generator back in the impact site. We haven't been there in ages, and coming back just makes me think of how far we've come, but also how far we need to go. I'll be honest, I don't know if we can finish this challenge. We have 10 days left and 13 parts to get, spread across 4 areas. It will be tight. 100 Pikmin, hallelujah! That's just what I needed to clean up all the stranded parts we left behind in the distant spring. That was not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 ship parts, all in one day. That's amazing, we even had enough Pikmin to try and get a head start on these bridges. This challenge may not be lost yet, there's still a little hope. 90 blues is a lot, and we can make great use of them in the distant spring. But aside from the zirconium rotor that requires 30 blues, the rest can be gotten by any Pikmin type if need be. Now, the anti-dioxin filter in the Forest Navel requires 40 blues, so let's go take care of that while we have the numbers. We can also open up this little water geyser to collect a Libra with a few yellows later on. I'm going to use the same logic here as we did for the blues yesterday, and collect the Libra as quickly as possible. It's the last treasure that requires yellows. Oh, and I guess the geyser doesn't stay active for the next day. Well, this is awkward. Is this the first part that requires 2 different types of Pikmin be used in one day? Nonsense! We have the numbers on our side. We just have to handle this problem like any authoritarian leader with a large population would. We just need to throw as many Pikmin at the problem as it takes. I don't care if you can't swim. Learn! See? Now that's what I'm talking about. You know, we lost 49 Pikmin, but that's not as bad as my contemporaries. And on the bright side, we never have to return to the Forest Naval again. Another good day to be alive. Although blues would have been ideal, I don't want to take any chances and miss out on collecting the heaviest ship part while we have more than 50 Pikmin. Even if that means catapulting our reds over the water to finish the rest of this bridge. Not everyone will make it, but we already know I'm willing to make some sacrifices for this challenge. Finally, on day 24 and 25, we rolled 40 blues and 80 blues respectively. That was the perfect amount to finish off the Distant Spring with the massage machine and the zirconium rotor, and the Forest of Hope with the radiation canopy. I could have used the 80 blues in the Distant Spring rather than the Forest of Hope, but I didn't know I was going to roll blues again, so you gotta take what you got when you got it. But with 29 parts collected, we can finally make our way to the final trial, and we have 5 days to complete it. Let's see what we have to take on the final trial. 60 blues, that's perfect. The final trial is a test that gives every Pikmin their time to shine. We need the blues to build these 2 bridges, then we need the yellows to tear down these walls, and finally we need the reds to go through this fire bridge and push this cardboard box. That is, unless we cheese it. Okay, maybe not. Or maybe yes. It's possible to just throw the blues after the fire bridge and guide them to the cardboard box. I can't believe I never thought of that before. Anyways, theoretically we can beat the game in just one more day, barring we get yellow Pikmin and a good quantity of them to collect a ship part. Okay, we can't really do anything, so let's just roll the next few days until we can actually do something.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
And that's it, I guess. We failed. We still escaped the planet, but we didn't get the best ending possible. That ending being Olimar loading his pockets with cash from the secret safe. But that is to be expected. When you gamble, you rarely come out on top. We were lucky to break even, but the casino always wins in the end.